I'm trying to be in
Yeah, you can maybe.
sunny California.
There you go, dude. We'll have to create some custom ones. I'm up in space. Fuck Katy Perry, dude.
Yo, that shit was
Uh,
offensive, brother.
that shit was offensive though, dude. Fake ass space mission, Amazon, Jeff Bezos bullshit on our face. Motherfuckers are fighting over Ford and groceries. They're sending
Yo, for real.
dumbass into space with a dandelion.
That shit is wild, dude.
This is wild, bro. It's
What
been a
really pissed me off was she was like, this is gonna be big for like future women. I was like, what? You just set women back 3 weeks.
3 weeks. You're fighting a crazy fight that no one else is, Katie. They don't care about that. Women have actually been to space already.
Yeah.
Like legit crew members that have
People who
jobs
earned
and
it.
tasks and work to learn skills and be you're not a crew member, you're a tourist.
For real.
Okay? You're a passenger. Anyway, so welcome back everybody. Welcome back, dude.
My man.
Dude, welcome back. So, I think we might have to unleash the tail. Wait, what were we just talking? We were just on the phone talking about it. I forgot already.
Yeah, well, just passed. Hell of a Good Friday. Good
Oh,
Friday. This is for all
yeah.
our religious
That's
listeners.
right. That's right. By the way, did you have you had a good holiday weekend with the boy?
It was good, man.
Yeah.
He's excited, man. He's super young, so he's getting super excited for everything.
It's good times. Did you hide some eggs?
Oh, dude, a million eggs. Too
Dude,
many.
so Michael's older, but we did an
Yeah.
egg hunt and I put I put meat in one of the eggs and he found it. He was like, meat?
That's so funny,
He was
dude.
laughing though. It's fun because he's older now too, so he was laughing about it. But it was fun. But yeah, so that brings us to the hell of a good Friday. Copyright that to the
Hell
boys,
yeah.
and that tune into our recent episodes to get more context. But this is our retelling, like our putting together and retelling of our saga in the county jail and criminal system as youth.
Yeah.
And
And I'm Johnny. That's Burke. Just
oh
so
yeah.
people know.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. They've seen too much. Damn it. Why did it do that, dude?
I peeped it. I was like, oh shit.
No, man. Hold on. We're going down, dude. We're going down. Hold on. Let me just fix this up real quick. I need that.
He said, sugar, we're going down swinging.
Hold on. Where are we at here? All right. Now we're officially in the building.
Yeah.
God damn. Why did it do that? You're trying to set me up.
Because you
Anyway.
didn't lock in, brother.
Yeah, that's right. I wasn't locking, right? Locking, dude. So yeah, that brings us. So we're back in the old the clink Hamilton Hilton. We're in the midst of a huge operation going on. We're living
Yeah.
lovely.
Lovely.
We're
Maybe
living
too lovely. We might have
that's
got too
like
big for our britches over
yeah, we were living a little too lovely. Um, but in this time period, there's also and we also I think we might have mentioned it. Him in particular. Shout out Doctor. Don't I say that it's Crack Hour. First of all, his name is Crack Hour. I don't know
Yeah.
where this guy is. I don't know his deal. All I know
There's
is
no way he's alive.
yeah, right. He's got He was
Yeah.
old back then, dude. He was
Oh,
like
back
so.
then.
He was the plot. He was flooding the streets. He was flooding the cells, the
Yeah.
units,
Yeah.
with benzodiazepines and various natures. I mean, of course, it makes sense. Everyone had an anxiety disorder. We're all locked up. So
Yeah.
like, so I get it, right? So, but he's giving me these volumes,
Yeah.
and we cooked a plan within a plan because
Well,
we're just planners. What do you guys? All
well,
right.
I'll say let's start it from kind of the beginning because you're getting them like from the jump, right? And
Yeah,
at first we're not even thinking about it, and like people, the table saying like, "Yo, stop taking this shit, Burke." Remember, like,
but
took
that's
it.
the thing. I was storing them from the jump.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
would like have them and like, you know what I mean?
But I remember specifically, you came to one day and you were like, "Yo, I got like 10 of these bad boys."
Yeah,
And I'm
dude.
like, "What?" And you're like, "Yo, I think we got up to like we took a bunch. I think it was more than
Bro, I saved like 20.
I was gonna say. I think it was like a lot."
So I got on them. I didn't have them right away, but
Yeah.
then I got on them because I already was like, oh, this guy's giving this shit. I know the word, and I have the backstory and lore to get him like fairly easily. It worked, and then there were we were like Dougie or whatever would always say stuff or whatever, but I was storing them, and for that week, like I ended up storing like 22 because I was getting three a day. I was getting a 5 in the morning, a 5 in the afternoon, and a 10 at night. So it was like double dose. And so at the end of that week, I had like 22 of them or like 21 or something like that. And I took,
Whatever the math is.
yeah, I took like 11. And you had like 10, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, especially I'd never even
Absurd.
taken it before.
Yeah, absurd, dude.
Absurd.
Absolutely crazy.
I
So
just remember thinking when you're like these volumes, I was like, one of my favorite albums is Pump Up the Volume. I have to try this.
I have to know what this is about. Well, and my whole logic was like, bro, these are like legitimately gonna get is like
Yeah,
legit get high. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like it isn't like those kids sniffing Remron down the frickin' down the block down there.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean? They're boofing Seroquel. This is some real deal shit. So then this all comes it culminates and as we've discussed, I don't know how much deeper we go into it now, but we're in the middle of a marijuana operation. So we're
And we're smoking every day.
yeah, we're smoking lovely at the
Yeah.
time. So we're getting a little comfortable.
We're too comfortable. And we're thinking, I remember thinking like, I remember thinking like, so the night before we spoke, and we know obviously like, oh, tomorrow's the day. And we don't even realize, one, that the next day is Good Friday. Let's just
Yeah,
be
we
clear that.
didn't. That wasn't in the
No,
planning.
no, we didn't.
It was among us.
Yeah, it wasn't like, let's celebrate this. But I remember like we were smoking the night before and thinking like, yo, tomorrow we're about to get lit, bro.
Yeah,
Like hyped, like, like hyped about this.
something to
Because
look forward to.
something to look forward to. And mind you, you smoke weed, and like we mentioned in the last episode, we're sitting at the table and get a little paranoid here and there. I'm like, yo, this is gonna take the edge off. So
Yeah,
like by the time we, we'll be good, we'll be fresh.
take the edge off. All right, bro.
Because when you smoke weed in jail, it's you get a little paranoid.
Oh yeah, it is such a strange experience.
Yeah,
Oh my God, dude. Just the lights, everything about it is like artificial and paranoid and weird. And then you're like, you're always ready to get busted at all times. Um, but yeah, and it's so funny to think that way too, like take the edge off. Because my adult brain's like, yeah, if you took like like we had enough in like one of those to like take a little bit and take the edge off.
yeah, oh yeah,
We took
yeah.
10.
I could have took
We
one, and I've been golden, bro.
would have been rocked on one.
For real.
Like for real, like we would have been chilling. Maybe at least remembered
Dude,
something.
we could have made that last for weeks.
We were living too good. We were too luxurious. Like
You
this,
can't go from smoking a full L to taking one. No,
yeah,
you gotta
dude.
go big.
And that's a move that you would store and you could make a come up off of. But
For
we were
sure.
living so lovely that we
Yeah.
didn't even need to do it. We're like,
I
nah.
don't think that came into our minds.
Yeah. Oh
And
my.
mind you, too, we're hiding it from the table.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
just, because this is like one of the first episodes, just to explain again, our table, our crew, Dougie, Shane, homie, you and I, and we don't want them to know
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
they know like the judging eyes will be upon us. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, all right, let's keep this to ourselves.
Yeah, they had a right to be worried if they knew.
Yeah, for real.
It's a worrisome plan.
I know, especially you gotta lock in at night. You know what I mean? Like, what do we fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
It's a worrisome plan. No, I get it. You know what
uh,
I mean? But we knew we were locked in. So we were like,
yeah.
we have a vision and we're gonna see this vision through, dude.
Yeah, and some might say that Good Friday got us through it.
Yeah, dude. So the day of Pipe's about the next morning comes, and what do you know? It's Good Friday. In that morning. So I remember it like it's probably like we popped out, did breakfast, and like the second pop out after or the pop out after breakfast, like kind of late-ish morning.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, let's go. You know what I
We
mean?
couldn't even wait.
We couldn't like I think we originally were gonna do it like at night.
That's what I think too. Yeah, I
We were-
remember talking like, all right, before we smoke, we're gonna go out. We're gonna pop these so
Bro,
we can get that bogey right after and all that shit. But we were like, fuck it, dude. What else we got to do?
and I actually think that I don't know. I don't think we had any bud that day either, because I recall at the end of it being surprised. Like,
Oh, okay. Don't even. Yeah, don't.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
but I think you're right on that.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we had been, and I think that day
Oh,
we
because
didn't do,
yes,
so we didn't do like a midday basketball
yeah,
talk or nothing. Like, so we like did, and we're just like, let's just do it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
Fuck
then
it.
we popped those motherfuckers, and then we kicked it. And like, this is the problem about trying to retell the story. There's a chunk neither of us were there for.
No,
We
no.
still we still owe the state of New York a couple hours, bro. We
Yeah.
were not there,
We
dude.
took a furlough that afternoon.
Yeah, bro, we were on the town.
So I remember we take it. right? And we go and sit down at the table where where we always do. And this is like you're saying, right after breakfast. So like you come like they buzz you for breakfast, the cell's open, you come out, and then you eat breakfast, and then you buzz back in
Yeah.
for them to take the food trays and all that shit out. And then you buzz out. But if you didn't have like a job, like laundry, like whatever, you had it like some people had like chores. You remember that?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Where
yeah.
you would like sweep or like clean the stairwell or whatever the fuck.
And they made us remember. Actually, dude, do you remember the mornings they used to do? Was that on the we were in there together? In the mornings, they did like a workout almost, like
Yeah, but I was working, so I never did it.
right. So, and you also got a little sleep later time because they
Yeah,
wouldn't let us sleep during like in that unit either. Like you had to
yeah,
get up, like,
yeah.
and you could like go back in your cell a little bit, but you had to get up in the morning and like
But you can go back and sleep all the rest of the night if you wanted to or
yeah,
whatever. But that for that, like they would make that guy would come in and try to make you jog around the fucking
yeah, dude.
the
Remember?
unit. Yeah, I mean I never did it, but yeah.
You just go there out there and you're like, okay, you know.
Yeah. I remember doing it like in the very like before I had the laundry job and then after that, even when I lost the laundry job, I don't think I ever did it again. I think I was just like, whatever, dude.
Yeah, you're right. No, I know, and your that schedule was so known already that no one probably
Yeah.
even like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. That's so weird. I just remembering that too, and like 50 dudes all out on two levels, freaking
Yeah.
all,
Up top and
and
down.
no one wants to be up. We're all like, what the fuck are we? What the
No,
hell, dude?
to go on a quick fucking to digress quick. Do you remember the few times that Ruff did it? He was like Richard Simmons out there. He was like,
Oh
"Come on, boys!"
yeah,
He was
yeah,
in front of the line, like, "Let's go, boys!" Like, like barking at motherfuckers in the back of the
dude.
line. I'm like, "Yo, chill, bro. We're boys. What the fuck?"
5:30 in the morning, fucking 6 in the morning. Like, get it. Come on, boys, get in it.
Yeah.
Milks. Anyone got milks? Anyone got milks? I'll
Yo,
take.
he was he was yelling at the CEO, like, "Hurry the fuck up, dude." Yo.
Just giving him pointers. He had him in check.
He was like, I could picture him jogging backwards,
Yep.
rough,
Yeah,
like, and
yeah.
everybody's coming at him, and he's like, "Let's go."
Come on, boys. Left, right. Get it.
For
Rough
real.
Riders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's too
That's
funny.
what
But
I
yeah,
remember. Like I would say that to him a lot when he come. I'm like, "Stop,
yeah,
drop."
yeah. Come down, open up, stop. Oh,
Yeah, for real.
oh. There he is in cell 24.
Which was literally my cell 24.
Yeah. Just perfection. So we consume the sacrament.
These values, and I remember what they look like. Do you remember what they look like?
Yeah, they were like the yellows and the
Yeah, they
and
had
the
the holes in it, the V hole.
the V, right? And then there was like yellows and blue, and like there was like the two fives and then the tens.
Which one really yellows?
The fives, I want to
The
say, but I
fives.
don't know 100%. It's been so long too. I don't really remember, and I know
Yeah.
like
I can just picture the yellows, but like, because I thought it was weird. I've never seen anything like it. There wasn't like an insignia on it. It was literally like a hole through it in the shape
yeah,
of a
that
V.
V, yeah, that was name brand shit, bro.
And you could like see through it.
That name brand shit.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is I was like, yo, is he just smuggling some Flint's what?
Dude, I got them straight from the plug, dude. From
Yo, crack arrow.
the
Which
dog.
yeah. I for some reason when I've told this story in the past, like years ago, I'd call him crack house. I don't know why. I just thought it was crack house. But yeah, you're right, it's crack house. But
I
it was
actually,
that time for the crack.
yeah, but he was the trap hour, Doctor Trap Hour
Trap
for
hour.
real, dude. Doctor Trap Hour
Yeah,
for real.
but do you remember like people would line up, everybody would line up for whatever they got, and Dougie would be yelling at them like, "You fucking zombies!"
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, "Bro, we're in jail, dude. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, we're all
Dude, but I,
fucked."
I would be on that line, and they were some zombies for real
I
though.
know.
They're
You'd
like
like
the
go get your
Seroquel.
yeah.
They would pump them with Seroquel, dude. All the shit, bro.
I remember Shane saying to you when you'd get up every day, he'd be like, "Go get your crack from crack hour." You're like, "Damn, bro." But they were like, it's so funny because
Got my cup.
knowing them from inside, and then we chill with them for a minute, especially Dougie specifically for a minute. And I met up with Shane a bunch too, but you and I would go to Doug's house a lot after this bid.
Yeah.
And one day we'll talk about those stories.
Yeah, for the nerve, the
The
audacity,
nerve, that's what I'm saying. How he's living in the jail is not how that motherfucker's living in the streets.
the
He
audacity.
became crack hour. should have been like, Doug, you became what you hate, Doug.
Dude. And meanwhile, while we're in there, he was also, running schemes and games to get even that blood in there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, we don't respect the hustle,
Yeah.
Dougie.
But in his defense, he was always anti-pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, and that's what that line was.
Yeah.
Like I was getting those, but it was like they had him on it's the Seroquel and the all the
Yeah.
crazy sleep anti-psych. Like I think Stay High was on a bunch of those too, because I
He
remember the
was
line with me. But and that's why he was always like just chilling, eating.
chilling.
I think
Yeah.
he was on that Seroquel. Like,
He was on, I remember him telling me about Trazodone or something.
yeah, maybe that was yeah. Trazodone's
I'm
another one.
sure he was on a few things, but
Because that circle, they had me on that, dude, and I swear to God, I would wake up in the morning and there'd be like peanut butter and jelly all over my fucking jaw. Like I would get up in the middle of the night and like make sandwiches, I guess. I
that's
don't
great.
really, yeah, dude. Like, so that one is I can't believe people take that, and I mean, I guess people need it. I shouldn't say that, but
Yeah, some people need it, whatever, but
yeah, and there's like dosage. There's all sorts of stuff that they did not do in there. They just gave you high ass dosage to like shut you up and like, you
dude,
know.
I wonder something must have happened to Krakauer, like a fucking patient,
Oh,
like attacked him or some shit, where he's like, "Yo, I need to dose out all these motherfuckers."
yo, he left in an abrupt fashion, and that is part of the tale too of crack hours. He left the jail like 70% of the jail withdrawing from benzos after he
It's
left. I was
which is
there because I had came
which is
back.
wild.
Yeah, dude, I had came back, and it's crazy. Like in that shortish amount of time, how different everything already was. And like I remember I was on three, and uh, someone we know was up there with me too, and he was also used to get it, and he was telling me, and like he was like, "Yeah, I'm hurt," and they were like trying to get him weaned in. Some people were on like super high doses because it's these people are
Yeah, with benzo, you
severely,
can die from that
yeah,
withdrawal.
that withdrawal, yeah. So they had to like try to run. Not everyone was on super high doses, but there was like a lot of people on it, and then a group that were like, I mean, they got a lot of trauma. Like these people, that's the thing is like. They're nut, we're all nut bags, we're all crazy in there, but like a lot of these people have severe trauma dating back to like
Yeah,
childhood. So like they were on higher doses, and like they would watch seeing them when I went back. I was like, damn, that's crazy, dude. How did they do that? So people were going through it after he left.
yeah.
Gap hour left and moved on. I don't know where he went, but he
I
left.
wonder what that doctor, that incoming doctor, said.
Yo, I can only imagine
He's
it.
probably like, "What the
What the
fuck?"
fuck? He might even had some kind of contract with the company that makes Valium. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and he had to have those name brand ones in
the
there
name
too. It was
brands.
like usually they would get, they're gonna go cheaper and generic in a jail.
And
But
this is also before like pharmaceutical, like this is back when doctors were still prescribing like oxys for
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
broken fingers. You know what I mean? Like
It
this,
hadn't gotten the pushback yet
yeah,
completely. This was like the building of the opioid that
yeah. The opioid epidemic is like on the verge. Like it's already spread, but like not. It's not nationally known as like, oh shit, this is
yeah.
destroying America. But
It's
like
just the
everybody's still
hoodlums.
hurting. Yeah.
Yep, it was the hoodlums and and they were. I remember a kid like if I don't want to too much of a tangent either, but someone who was also rest in peace, Chris. He fell off like a scaffolding when he was like 15, and he was getting like crazy packages of oxys, and like
Really?
he was the only person I know that had like there was like a super high dose of them, and I want to say it was like 120, like or where it was like usually 80s were like the highest, and there was like
Yeah.
another one that you never really see or get, and he had them because he was so fucked up. Oh,
Really?
yeah, but I never got into the pills as much because it was cheaper at the time to do it the other way,
Yeah.
and I had some movement going. But
But anyway.
yeah, let's bring it back. That was perfect timing. No, we brought it right back in time. So, yeah, so then we take them, and we like we said that we had to fill you in with some stories because part of that story we weren't there for. So
Yeah.
get there. So then we come back out.
Well, check this out. So we take them, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we finished this part.
Yeah, I don't. I'm.
So we take them. We're chilling at the table, just doing our thing, and this is literally right after we pop back out for breakfast. So what time would you say breakfast
I
was?
breakfast was early.
Yeah,
They would pop us out what like 6 or something around.
yeah,
But then they would pop us back out after
probably
that.
like 8:30, 8 or something like that.
Yeah, right. Like shift change would then happen or whatever, something like.
Yeah. So like we're probably eating these at like 8 o'clock, maybe
I
9.
want to say like 9. Yeah, like
Yeah,
9 maybe. Yeah, like
yeah,
9. We'll
yeah.
say around 9. I don't really. You remember what we did after we popped them for any amount of time? Because I
Mhm.
don't fully recall.
I remember sitting at this is the I remember sitting at the table We're like, yo, this shit's about to be mad chill. We're chilling, like planning our day. Like maybe we'll go fucking listen to some beats, play some fucking Marvel superheroes or some shit.
Go
And
stand
then
out.
that,
Son.
and that's it, dude.
Yeah.
And that's it. So lunch doesn't come until like noon or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
this must have been a weekend because I was there the whole time. Oh no, it was Friday. It was Good Friday.
Friday, it was Good Friday, man. It
Good
was
Friday.
hell of a Good Friday.
Yeah, yeah. So we were chilling, and so we take them, and that's it. That's all I remember.
Yeah, the next memory I have is coming out for, I believe what we thought was lunch at the time was
We thought it
dinner.
was lunch. We
Yeah, we
popped out
came
for lunch.
and we come out, we get our food, we notice it's like it's not, there's different trays that they would have for our lunch for our dinner. Like you just know off the bat they have different menus. You're like, what the fuck? And I remember sitting down and and Ducky and them were looking at us because we look all like something's off, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, damn shit, it's dinner. And we're like, yo, we missed lunch. And Dougie's like, nah, you guys were here, man. You guys came out for lunch. We were like, what, bro? What did we even eat? They're like, I don't know, hot dogs or some shit. I'm like, what? No. I remember being so blown away and not getting crazy, like outwardly, but inwardly, like, how? Like, I don't remember that at all. Like,
At
that's
all.
fucking crazy.
But I remember Doug also being like, "I knew you were quiet." Cause yeah, we were always talking at
Yeah.
lunch. He was like, "Bro, I knew something was up because you motherfuckers didn't say a word." We're like, "What?"
You probably
And,
just dude. So
and I remember specifically Doug telling me that like we didn't even wait to lock. Like we finished. We I thought the tracing just went and locked in. Like the shit wasn't even locked. You're like they didn't lock us back in
yeah,
yet.
usually you'd even after you finish, you sit for a minute while
Sit
everyone
for a
kind of
minute.
finishes, and you just enjoy your time out while you can. We just ate it and ran. We took
Just went back to sleep. They lock us. We shut it down before they even. I mean, if you shut it all the way, it locks.
yeah, yep.
So we were just locked in there. So you have to think about this. So we lock it. So we must see my just how I think. They must have locked us in for like to set up lunch, and then we just like zombie after that. Because even though
Yeah,
I don't remember anything before that, like because we must have just locked in, got a moment with our eyes shut, muscle memory, the doors open,
yo, it had
fucking stumble out there, sit down, eat, and then just lock back in. So he says we just lock back in. So that's like another 4 hours until they
yeah,
unlock until they unbuzz it for because they all locked in for
yeah,
dinner, but we were already locked in.
yeah. We never left
We
after
never
lunch.
left after that.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It is so funny the muscle memory of it all, dude.
I, because I remember Tug being like wet, like he was on to us. He was like, I know you motherfuckers did something because you like the whole like the table was just like, bro, what is
Some,
good? So,
something's not because
so
you know it's pop out loud, doing nonsense, sit down,
bro, you
talk,
be screaming the whole fucking time.
give another table shit.
Yeah, because I don't know if you remember this, but like when it's a lot, a bunch of times you do this, so maybe every fucking day probably. But
Yeah,
but we would lock in like before lunch or after whatever, and you would come out because like our cells are like this. Can you see my hands?
yeah, they're
Like
like
so they're like
diagonal. Yeah.
diagonal. So you would pop out, and before you even exit, I would hear you screaming my name. Like you'd be like screaming wild shit, like like wild shit. And like that day was silent.
Ew.
Yeah. And that day was fucking silent, bro.
Dude, I always had weird catchphrases too. I can't remember like back at it like a crack addict. No, I just always had random things. The best is God of Thunder though. We won't get crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
There was no signs of God of Thunder this day. They,
No.
they had quelled the God of Thunder.
I do, and people have to understand too, like all this stuff is like, people know about the Marvel Universe now because of the
Yeah.
movies and God of Thunder, but this is like
Very
way
new.
before that. Way before. This is like years before Iron Man came out, the first one.
Dude, no, if you think about it, that was 2008.
Yeah.
That's That so
shit.
crazy to think that. But yeah, so it was very niche, like inside jokes between us that like not
Yeah, like if you
everyone
didn't
can
know, you
know.
didn't know. You know
Yeah,
what I
that
mean?
wasn't, unless we put you on. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I used to always I somehow blended Guns N' Roses with it too. I don't know.
Because we didn't know like how Thor sounded. Because now we
Yeah.
think of Hemsworth. Before we're just reading these books, so
Yes.
he sounded like Axl Rose.
Jonathan.
You know what I mean?
Bro, and you would just hear it like in the quiet lock-in period. Yeah. Jonathan.
But do you remember like where that kind of came from?
I'm trying to
Do you
remember.
remember because we were reading Civil War?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
in
yeah.
that, Tony Stark, but you don't know at first, but he clones Thor.
Right. Yes, yes,
And
yes.
and he
Well,
comes out and he like kills like Giant Man or somebody. And he's like, Katana! So
I latched on, bro. The tism took hold, baby.
but
That is
yeah,
the new vocal stem.
yeah. But so we take the fucking we take that, right? We pop out. We're at
Yeah, yeah,
dinner.
yeah.
They know something's up, right? And they're
Yeah.
like, and they're like, quasi confronting us. Like, it's all, it's all fun and games. But they're like, yeah, what the fuck, dude? And then I just remember Shane being like, all right, but chill, 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 chill. Yeah, like I got this kid a fucking dub in
Yeah.
or whatever, and I told him I was gonna take half. I took fucking the majority of it. He was
That's
like, I was just sick of this shit, bro. I don't want to be bringing these motherfuckers, whatever. So, and he took like like more than half his bogeys. Like he had like all the kids' bogeys. Like, and he had the pack.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like, yeah, and he gave him like four bogeys. I think Shane at this point was like just seeing like, fuck these motherfuckers. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
dude.
fuck them.
Yeah, and he also, he's like risking his own shit, and he's just
Yeah.
like, these guys are, it's never gonna end. They're like, I don't even fuck with these people like that.
Yeah. But we
Yeah, I
didn't fuck
do.
with them at all. I don't even
Yeah,
remember talking to the people outside of this.
no, no, and this was all, yeah. And that night too, I remember coming out after our dinner, like being exposed to the fact that we muscle memory manhandled our way
Yeah.
through lunch and the rest of it. Oh, the good inmates. But and I do remember sitting at the table after and us looking at each other like, like, yo, what the fuck happened? Like it's
And it was still foggy.
yeah, we're still like fucking,
We
we're
just took way
still
too many
high.
too.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
still high on that shit. We just like really maxed out early on. So then
Yeah.
we're like foggy, and then I remember like Shane coming over like after they're kind of fucking with us or whatever, and being like, yeah, and then having that roll. We're like, what Newports, dude? We're like, bet, dude.
I feel like I remember him being like, it's gonna be a good night for you boys. Like
Something
something like
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember we were sitting at the table fogged out, and he like came over and like leaned in even more than he
Yeah.
normally would because we were
Yeah.
so like out of it. He's like, yeah, I got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got yeah.
Yeah,
Eh,
like.
but he would lean in to say some shit that he didn't even have to lean in for. That was just shit. That was just shit, but
We could have heard you from right there.
yeah.
Yeah,
But like you said last time, like even when he didn't, it always seemed like he had something going on. Like he had a
like
secret to
he had
tell.
somewhere to go, dude.
Yeah.
He's always like, he had somewhere to go. So that's how I remember sitting at the table too. Is he's like speeding by on whatever something he had somewhere to go
Yeah.
up to the table to see us because we're still like zonked out and kind of fuck with us, but be like, yo, I know it's gonna be a good night.
It's gonna be a good night, baby.
And
And
then
so long story short, we have to just wait like an hour to a couple hours,
yeah,
and we
yeah.
go out. So
I didn't want to cut you off.
yeah, so we go out. We wait like an hour or two, whatever it was, and we go out. It's at night, and I remember like so we. I think he might have. It wasn't a blunt this time. I think it was like a joint.
It was a joint. Yeah, no, it
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
smaller one, but it was still
yeah.
like we
It
didn't
was still
have that prior.
no, no,
We're
no.
like, yo, it was like a
Yeah, but it wasn't a like a
wasn't a
skimp.
skeeter leg. It wasn't a
No,
skeeter
no.
leg.
It
It
was
was a real
like
joint.
a joint or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. It just wasn't
Uh,
a blunt. That's what I
yeah,
meant.
and we're smoking it, and I start feeling the fucking.
Yo,
You know what I mean? Like the
kicking in because we're still high on these volumes.
still high on his vibes,
It's like really kicking in overdrive.
really kicking in. And
Oh,
like, bro, do you remember smoking those Newports
I
though?
was gonna just say probably top two Newports I ever smoked.
Ever in my life, dude.
Bro, we were so chill, and the way they hit with the volume and being stoned, and like we were free. It's such a crazy thing to describe to someone that's been in there, but you feel you're like,
Free.
yo, like what? You felt free, and we're outside in that yard, so we're like,
Looking at the, excuse me, looking at the stars.
we got too comfortable, bro. We were living
Way
too
too comfortable,
we
dude.
were living too lovely, bro. It's so crazy. And then that's when we came in, and I think finally remembered, or we might have mentioned it earlier in the day, but I don't know. But we were like realized it was Good Friday. We're like, hell of a good. We just like looked at each other like at the same time, like, hell of a Good
Okay.
Friday. We're like, oh, it's so good, dude.
Yeah, so funny, dude.
Hell of a
Yeah,
Good Friday, bro.
yeah, that's so funny, dude. And I think somebody like mentioned it. I think like Doug or somebody or Shane might have mentioned like that it was Good Friday.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
like looking at him like it's a hell of a Good Friday, baby.
Hell of a
Let's
Good
get this.
Friday, indeed. Just some good old Catholic boys,
Yeah, for
rebirth and whatnot.
yeah.
You giving up for Lent? Jail.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes me think like that Easter, I think was that the Weeblo night?
It might be, dude. This
It,
is a story we have not brought up, but I
yeah,
need to get in there because it's so surreal. It might be because it was so surreal that maybe we just were on Valium as well.
it might have been.
Because we were out. So even if it's not, we're gonna go into this right now because it's
Yeah,
also so strange and it matches. It might have been hell of a good. It might have been that Good Friday. So when we're out there puffing, and you can see the Sally port, like when you get in the corner of the yard because it's like attached to the unit, you can see the Sally port where the main entrance. And I remember,
which is two doors, so it's like a door,
yeah,
and then one opens. There's like a sally port, like a little area. That door shuts, and this door opens, so people can't escape.
yeah, in case you get in some kind of like wild Charles Bronson mood and you want to fight all the guards, you have to do it
It,
in there.
you have to
So
do it in there. And
yeah,
so I remember like we had just put out, or were we still smoking? I think we just put
we
it
were.
out
I don't know if we
because
just.
I think we were smoking Newports when they came,
Oh, maybe. So
but
we
I
could.
could be wrong.
All I know is the timing was like so close, and we
Yes,
I remember either we had just put it out
I
or
think we had just put it out.
yeah, and we saw the door open. We were like, oh
But
shit,
because Shane and Doug were over there, and they were like, "Yo, Sally, Sally, Sally," and we were still over in the corner smoking the
yeah.
Brogu. That's what makes me think it was that.
And I remember slightly being able to see from
Yeah,
the window the uniform, and like, oh shit, it's the warden or the lieutenant or the sergeant or lieutenant.
Sergeant,
Yeah, and we're like, oh shit, dude.
and be like, "It's a sergeant." Be like, and I remember thinking, like, having a momentary panic attack, thinking, like, "Oh, he's coming in here for us," because
Of
like somehow
course.
they see us out here smoking.
Was this after the first bus too? There might have been a raid already before this. A
Maybe
bus.
I don't recall, but I
Yeah,
don't think so. I don't think so. It might not have
not
been.
yet, right? Not yet. Because I would remember that. Because I do remember thinking like, oh yeah, this is for us, 100%.
Yeah, like we're
They're on
fucked.
us. They're on. We're fucked. Like we're out here doing it right now. Like,
Yeah, and just imagine being so fucked up.
yo,
You haven't been fucked up in mad long because you're in this fucking place, And then all of a sudden there's a fucking 30 kids behind this guy.
dude, that's the thing. Is like, I was scared enough just seeing that uniform through the window, and
And I'm
it's
like, yo, they're bringing in fucking midgets to get us?
oh, the door's open, and then he's got this parade behind him. We're like, what is
What
going
are we
on?
on?
There, we thought we were going down, and like, what? Is this the new cert? Like, what are they? Double the numbers, half the size? What's going on?
It was fucking wild.
And they're like walking through the thing, and then so I think they like walked. He like led the group past the yard, and we immediately were like, and we like shot to ourselves and like cleaned up,
Well,
and
I
then
remember like I remember like talking like, do we go inside as they're walking by? Because we must smell.
yeah, like we waited till it was like just enough
Yeah.
to where there was some separation, but not like not a huge unit.
Yeah.
I remember dipping to the cell. You might have came to my cell too,
I
because
probably did.
like
Yeah.
and did the quick like cleanup. We lotioned
Yeah.
each other like homies
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. We lathered it up.
We lathered up, bro. Got the sense right, and then we hit the game room, bro. We hit
And we were like,
the
yo,
game room.
what do we do? Like, well,
Yeah,
we can't be around this motherfucker. We gotta hit the game room.
yeah,
There's no way he's gonna bring kids on a scared straight visit to the game room.
dude.
You know what I
There's
mean?
no way they're bringing the scared stray kids to the fucking game room, dude. Close the door, and we got the window. There's a big window on that
That
room.
goes right into the unit.
Yeah, like right there. So you walk by, and we had freaking. That was when we had the because we've described the computers briefly before, but there's three computers. One's got ROMs like Super Nintendo ROMs and emulators. One's got some music that random like COs and staff would like unload CDs onto for us, and then one's got another thing. But so we're bumping Lloyd Hunger for More album
Hunger
Lloyd
for
Banks,
more.
and the name was the song is what
Cause I get high. Get
because they
high
get
is the name of
high,
the song. Yeah.
get high, something
Yeah.
like that. I
Yeah.
think it's
Cause I
literally
get
get
high.
high. Yeah, because they get high. Oh yeah. I'm confusing sometimes the Afro Man.
Cause it sounds kind of similar. Like
Yeah,
when you say the cadence of it, but it's like
the
I get
beat.
high. No, it's like I get high, I get high, I get high. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. I get. Yeah.
And it's like Mr. Bouncer Man. What you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Hold on. Since this is going on our Patreon, this is all ours. Um,
Bro, and it was like the perfect if you read those lyrics, like he's talking about smoking in the club and people getting pissed, but it's like you
bruh.
could easily, like fucking put it to the fucking to the COs.
Bro, yeah, definitely it matched the scene. Yeah.
Me. This is good. That
You're
can
right.
bother me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were on the money, dude. It absolutely fit our scenario perfectly.
Perfectly,
Bounce
dude.
man, turning it up for me.
He's like,
So,
man,
so
dude, it's
now
so fucking funny.
dude, there's 12,
And we're bumping this too.
dude, 12 like pre-pubescent like Weeblo scouts are like around like 14 or
I
something.
feel like there was like a lot of. I remember there being a lot of them.
Dude, there was like at least like I want to say
I think it was.
20.
Yeah, it was like a troop of Boy Scouts or Weeble Scouts, whatever they were.
Yeah. I don't remember if they were actually Weeblos and I or they were Boy Scouts and I just kept calling them
Maybe, but
Weeblos.
yeah, they were definitely Cub Scouts or some shit.
Yeah, they were definitely like Boy Scouts or Weeblos, like a little older age or whatever. And they're going and they walk past that room and we got that song bumping on Lloyd Banks.
And we're playing
And we
fucking.
played War of the Gems or Maximum Carnage or one of the ones we played on there. Like, hey, don't go to jail. I remember like we said it too because there was
Yelled it.
a window between us,
Yeah, yeah.
but we yelled it as they walked in there looking like, don't go to jail unless you want to get high and play video
And
games.
listen to Lloyd Banks.
Yeah, listen to yo, yo,
Yeah,
don't go to
but it
jail.
was, dude, it was like it went from the most terrifying moment to like the
What,
funniest fucking
what the
insane
hell?
trip ever, dude. Like just being like, oh shit, they got a oh wait, those are children. What the fuck are children doing here? And you just said they were so fucking high.
Bro, imagine that if it was an actual episode of Scared Straight and they're
Bro, it'd be the
all
worst
there
episode ever.
and the first thing they see is us just getting high in the yard. Like,
Like those kids are probably there for a get high. They're like, yo, this place is dope. What
yo,
the fuck?
get out there. They're
Yeah,
in the
watching
club out
cartoons.
there. Bro.
I know you're supposed to smoke in my ears, but don't sit in the air. I should keep fucking hands on me.
Yo, said I know we're not supposed to smoke
That's
in here.
what we were playing.
Yo,
So
bumping it, bro.
perfect, dude. I'm not smoking here.
Yeah, but it would just worked out perfect because, like you said, the CEO has Weeble. He's not going to show him the yard, which freak like we at that point.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
not. I mean, and this is all coincidence. It's not like we thought about this pregame, but and he's definitely not bringing him to a game room where these kids are fucking playing video games.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Nah, he probably walked when we were yelling from in there, he was probably out there like, this is where we keep this
The
is where we
fucking
keep the
yeah.
dummies busy. We're rehabilitating them in this room.
And we're just like fucking yeah.
Unit.
And the crazy part is too, like you'd think they would call up and be like, "Yo, make sure no one's playing fucking video
Yeah.
games."
Make sure that we keep it tight in there. It looks miserable.
Yeah,
I want to
for
be
real.
barren and miserable and
And I
emotional.
remember seeing or it wasn't the warden, it was like the sergeant. Like he almost had like a smile on his face, like he was happy to be showing these kids things. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and we didn't even lock in, which is wild to
Oh,
me
yeah.
too.
Didn't lock anyone in. And I don't think they did like any individual interaction.
No, no, they just walked on the unit once and dipped.
Yeah, and yeah, it was so strange. And then they left and we're just left with like, what the
What the
hell just
fuck
happened,
just happened, dude?
dude? All it, I that might have been hell of a good Friday
I
too,
think
bro.
it might have been. It was either that or like the next night. It was around that time for sure.
Yeah, it's so crazy,
And
bro.
the reason I think it was that night because I just remember being like so at like, what
Yeah,
the fuck
yeah.
is going on?
Like if we weren't so out of it, we might have made it hot. But we were so
Yeah,
hot that we were just like, oh,
bro.
we
That's
are just taking it as it comes. We're like, I fucking guess, you know?
bro. That's why it was a good Friday, man. The Lord
Yeah.
was with us that day.
Tell you what, bro, the Lord is with us through that
It was-
journey for
yeah, you're like, take the wheel, Jesus.
real. Take the wheel, Jesus. My man gave me 10 of those motherfuckers.
That shit was so funny, dude.
Dude, it's such a crazy experience that you can't really tell anybody. Like that's why we're doing this. Is
I
like
know, dude. They
because
know it. Yeah,
it's a very unrelatable, even with people that may have caught up some trouble at some time. You know what I mean?
yeah, dude. And it's also like a story like you don't tell that around like the dinner table. Like no,
Nah,
like it doesn't even sound real.
not break room talk.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like it
At
doesn't
any time,
sound real at all.
dude. It's 100% real.
100% real. That shit was the craziest thing. And I remember like after all this, so we leave the kids leave, they go back, and I'm just like going, we're talking to Doug or whatever. Doug being like, man, if that's those kids scared straight, they ain't scared of shit no more.
Yeah. This kid's gonna be the new wave that comes in next year after what you guys just showed them.
That shit was
Oh,
so funny, dude.
Don't hate the players, hate the game,
Hate the
dog.
game, baby.
Yeah, we just here trying to make it work, baby. Trying to get high and eat some ramens.
The fucking statistics of it is at least one of those kids is sitting in
Oh
Hamilton
yeah.
Hilton right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It definitely and the numbers bumped up even after our time there. That it's like they probably run the joint. They're probably doing that right now.
They're probably telling the story about how they came in there at Weeblo and they heard fucking Lloyd
Yeah.
Banks bumping, changed
They're
their
like,
life.
it's so crazy. I came in here as a kid and I heard them playing Lloyd Banks and playing video games. I would have never guessed I'd be here doing the same thing 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's so wild.
Yeah,
And
but
the fact is too, is that after that, I remember like we are sitting around like the table, whatever, like waiting to clock in or punch in, fucking lock in
punch
there.
in, punch out. Punch Pail crew, man.
Yeah, wait to lock it, wait to lock in that night, and still being like, yo, am I tripping or are
Yeah,
these fucking weebos just come through
yeah, yeah.
here? Yeah,
And we didn't catch lunch. Like, yeah, what? Like, what? What the
what is
hell?
going on here?
And then we definitely, I remember cracking up that owing them, we owe the state hour. Like, we got over on them. We got like a few free extra hours out of our bid.
Yeah.
They didn't get us to do. We didn't do those. I don't know who did that. There was a body. There was a corporeal form moving around here somewhere, but it wasn't us at
It
the time.
wasn't us,
We
brother.
were in the shadow realm, dog.
Yeah, that was the easiest fucking time I ever did. Those fucking few hours.
Oh my God, dude. So Cracker was onto something, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, he was the truth. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, dude.
He was the truth. That hour was the best hour of my life.
Dude,
That crack hour.
I'll tell you that Newport was the goddamn best. Newport is up there in Newport's because pumping that thing down, all wonked down. I think we even had a cook up after that.
We
I
did
think
have a
we
cook up
cooked
after
up
that.
after the Weeblos left.
We
Like,
did.
like that's what Doug and Shane might have been getting going started.
Yeah.
We were banging, and I think we had a cook up
Yeah,
after.
we definitely had hot sauce. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, the bodega, the
Bodega.
bodega boy had the hot sauce on deck, dude.
Yo,
Biggest,
we used to have the best cookups, dude. Those cookups, like I still once in a while will think about that. Like, yo, I wish I could just have that
dude.
one
If
more
we
time.
get if we get enough people on this Patreon, we will do an anniversary cook up
Yeah, we got to.
episode. We'll get together in person.
We got to find Doug how to do it because we don't know how
Uh,
to do that shit.
yeah, dude, we do gotta find Doug somehow, and
Okay.
and also we'll give a rest in peace, Shane.
Yeah, rest in peace,
Dog,
Shane, the
man,
dog.
for real, you're a solid dude.
And they would do it together. They would cook the cook up.
Yeah, they were yeah, dude. They
Yeah,
were they like we were tight, and then
yeah,
they like had their own like everyone had their
yeah,
individual like.
yeah.
But Shane was always when he was on the move from task to task, he would be checking with Doug on what's next.
He always reminded me of like, and again, it's not shade to my boy Shane. I fucking
Yeah.
love Shane, but it was like the crackhead version of like. Do you ever see that scene in I think what is it, Goodfellas, when Paulie goes to prison and he's like cutting up the onions with like the ID card and shit.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know what I mean? That was Shane, bro. He
That
was
was
always
him,
doing some
dude.
shit like that.
He was getting that summer sausage
Yeah.
pepperoni eyes ready for the hookup.
Yeah, for real.
Did yeah. We
Yeah.
gotta do one of those summer sausage. All the squeeze cheese I was not a fan of, but everyone wanted it, and it's like, God
Yeah, I
damn.
wasn't a fan of that. But I mean, I don't know what they did, but this shit was fire.
Yeah, dude. We gotta bring that back. And then there was something else that I put off for a second so we could finish Hell of a Good
Yeah,
Friday.
I know, I know.
There was something else that um we had to hit him with Hell of a Good Friday. Oh yeah, I guess we should introduce one of our characters that hasn't really gotten too much camera time yet or story time. Hold on one second. I died. I'm back. Um the homie Gay Nick, dude. Shout
Gay
out Gay
Nick.
Nick,
Shout
bro.
out Gay Nick. He's around. I haven't run into him in a long time, but I would run into him once in a blue.
He's out there saloning.
He's
He's
out
out
there
there.
somewhere.
He's
Yeah.
just down there. So gay Nick, not as far as we know, he's not gay. But he landed that nickname, from our homie Omi.
Yeah, I mean, we were calling that in transitions. Like,
Oh, okay. So that is a nickname that you
yeah,
guys. Okay, so you see, I wasn't there for
yeah,
the. Yeah.
yeah. I think I just started calling him Gay Nick, or maybe it was Ryan. I think it was me, but I could be wrong. But,
Oh no,
but, and he was just zesty, right?
he was zesty.
Yeah, and bro, he would do the funniest shit. He'd be like, "Booyaka, booyaka," and he was just like very animated with his hands. He'd be like, "Booyaka, booyaka." He'd be like, "Oh, damn, bro."
He had the blowout. He would. I don't know. By the time he made it back into there, he had like the blowout or
He
whatever.
always had a blowout. Always had gel.
Yeah, and he was in like his polo boy. This is around that time too, where
Yeah, this is like I mean, Jersey Shore doesn't even hit yet, I don't
I
think.
don't think it hit somewhere in my bedtime because I remember, but it might have been the following one because we would watch it at night.
Oh yeah, it must have been your following because I feel like
I don't think it dropped yet. I saw Snooki get punched from DCJ.
what? Oh really?
Episode of Jersey Shore where she gets punched in like the first season by some guy at the bar. I
Oh yeah, yeah,
saw
yeah.
that in DCJ. Like that's
Oh shit,
so
shit.
that it dropped around like that second, like when I
Yeah.
came back after or whatever.
And I could tell a story about Snooki, which I'm not gonna. I shouldn't even do this, but
We could cut it if it's too
yeah,
foul.
we probably have to cut this. But
Yeah,
and one of the girls that is on the not like a cast member, but like you know how they would have like friends come visit them.
yeah, yeah.
So one of those girls, she went to Jay.
Oh, dude, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
and she was at the. She went to like Dean's Farm a couple times
That's I know
before
exactly.
shit got popping off with Snooki. Before anything,
Yeah.
and like, uh, shit went down. We'll leave it at that. But
Yeah.
but I mean, I wasn't there. I mean, these are just stories I've heard, but I wasn't
And
there that night.
Snooki
But I
was
knew
going
her friend.
Snooki was going by the Princess of Poughkeepsie, remember?
Was she?
Yeah, that was like one of her things early on, even though she wasn't really from Poughkeepsie. She was from a
No.
surrounding
Yeah.
area. I think it was like right across the river or whatever.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but she was friend with
I
yeah.
know the fair you're talking about. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's name or not, but you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I've
Yeah.
definitely I hung out with her, like not like just her and I, but like in groups
Yeah.
on the farm, hung out with her for sure. But then there was like stories coming out of there, like when no, because like they would say Snooki was there, like when I was gone. Like
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
that shit's popping off, they're like, "Yo, that goes at the farm,"
Oh, it was just mad.
with her friend that we know. Yeah,
Damn.
but
God bless, man.
I could be. I mean, I don't know. It could be urban legend.
Yeah, you hear shit
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Especially, yeah. So, but yeah. So, gay or
Okay, so gay Nick.
gay Nick, gay Nick. So
Dude, did he start the blowout?
he might have. That's what I'm saying. I feel like, but the blowout must was popping already. I
Yeah,
think
it was
it
popping
was
out.
like the
Yeah,
culmination and the mainstreamification of the blowout.
yeah,
Thing that people should do more.
yeah.
And
And he had like the fake diamond earrings out in the town. You couldn't wear them in jail, but
yeah, dude. Oh, but you were in transition where you got
yeah,
more of
yeah,
your stuff too.
yeah, yeah. But this is how crazy it is. We're in jail, and like you can't use bare feet in the shower, so they give you these cheap ass fucking flip flops. This
Yeah.
motherfucker rocked it around like he was at a fucking resort. That's all he
Dude,
wore.
always. And he would like have a towel with him all the time.
Like he
Like
was literally at a spa.
my guy thought he was at the Turkish bathhouse.
He literally had the towel,
Dude.
and he would just wear the property Dutchess County Jail shirt and the shorts.
And
And I think, oh, know why he always had the towel on? Because like you couldn't wear that shit unless you just got on the shower. Like you had to have the jumpsuit on. Unless you
right,
were a worker, you could wear the pants.
right. So he was always like
So he
about
was always like sporting like he was about to take a shower, but he never did. I don't think I ever saw him take a shower. Because his hair was always fresh.
dude. Okay. So then finally, and Omi and Gay Nick had a more. So I forgot too that they knew each other from transitions
In
prior to this too.
transitions, yes.
So they had some kind of prior history, but Omi used to give him the business. He
Hell,
used to
dude.
go so yeah, he used to go in on him with the
Yeah.
road thing and the just
But
bullying.
somehow he would
Walking
blame it
out.
on us,
Yeah, well, because we would be at the table like,
cracking up.
and
So I
Omi
don't,
would
yeah.
leave, and then we would be there like, nah, dude, like,
But so like, let me just explain this. Like,
yeah,
I think we probably mentioned it before, so forgive me if I'm repeating stuff, but our table, like when we weren't sitting all together during, eating hours or cook up or whatever, people would just bomb in with us because there would just be me sitting at the table, and then people from
yeah,
other tables would just that we were friends with, S. Dot, Omi, Gay Nick, so on, so rough, like everybody would just bomb in for like an hour
yep.
and then dip back to their life. They're like, oh, let's see what's going on with these fucks, right? And so Nick, one time, unfortunately for Gay Nick, the two bombing periods collided. And it was Gay Nick and Obi. And Obi sitting and Gay Nick sits down. And mind you, like we were in transition together with Gay Nick, and we would kind of get on him there, but like there's something different. Like you could say the same jokes in transitions that
Right.
you do in jail, and it hits different in jail.
Yeah,
Because there's
no.
no escape if shit pops off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, like you gotta really get it. You're in there.
Yeah, you got to get it. And
We
so, and even
double
though,
booked. So I
yeah,
had to get this joke out my tism because they crossed over at our table we accidentally double booked. We had a window so to give the people their entertainment time. We double
We
booked.
double booked this hour
Yeah, and they crossed over, and and it is true. Like it's a little more relaxed in transitions
for
too, so
sure.
like, you can joke a little more comfortably. But in there, tensions run higher, and there's no escaping it.
There's no escaping it, dude. And so as you'll see, fucking Gay Nick found a way to fucking but so and he's in flip-flops, dude. And this is jail with a bunch of dudes. And like and so we're sitting and I remember like homie sitting and like Gay Nick is just walking around. He's like, look at this fucking Gay Nick. He's fucking flip-flops, flip. And then he's like, hey, what's up, guys? Because that's how he talk. Like that's why we
Yeah.
call him Gay Nick, because he seemed very gay, which we're not we're
Is it?
totally for all that. We're totally for the
It was
LGBTQ community. We're all, that's us.
obviously we were homies with Gay Nick,
That's,
dude.
but he wasn't actually gay.
Oh, all right, all right. My
We,
bad, my bad.
and so,
I'm just kidding. I know.
so gay Nick comes to the table. I feel like he must have heard us, like, kind of like talking about whatever or something. Because he's like, "Hey guys," and he comes over, he sits, and he just pulls up a chair, and he's very like what you think a gay, like when you stereotypically think of a gay dude, that's gay Nick. He's like, "Hey guys," and so and, and he was like, "Booyaka, booyaka." And so he sits down with us, and Omi just looks at him like, and Omi's like kind of brocky.
Yeah, no, he was got his weight up at that point.
Yeah, and he's like looks at him, he's like, "Look at you, gay Nick." You so
And you're just killing the disgust that he had in his voice and face when he did it. Keep going, keep going.
he looks over there, he's like, "Look at you, gay Nick, with your gay flip flops." It was so funny, dude. And he was such an animated, fiery fucking Latino,
Yeah, bro.
black dude,
He was sparing him nothing, dude.
bearing him nothing.
You disgusting.
And he's like, and I don't know how it got to this point because there was some intermediary talk, but he eventually leads up to, I could fuck you in your ass if I wanted to, gay Nick.
Yeah, that's how it ended.
And he's like, and you would like it. And I
Oh,
know,
because Nick tried to backtalk. That's why.
yeah,
Because
okay,
Homie was doing his thing, and then Nick tried to like he had enough. He was.
yeah.
It was kind of mean. It wasn't like even joking.
And mind you, two white boys just cracking up right next to him.
Yeah, and always talking like as if it's like a real person, like a homophobic person that hates a gay person.
Yes, yes.
Isn't gay, and he's like,
But then he would drop in that he wasn't because he'd be like, I can fuck you in the ass if I want to, and you'd like it. But I wouldn't do that. I didn't say that, but I
and
could.
that part is so funny, dude. Nick tries to backtalk. He says, "Shut the fuck up, Nick. I could fuck you in the ass if I want to, but I wouldn't do that, would I, Nick? I wouldn't do that."
But he would even say like, I wouldn't say that. And I'm like, you just said it. But he'd be like, but then somehow he would like, my bad. Somehow he would like make it seem like we said it.
Yeah.
Like he would be like, look, he's like this guy. And then the gay nigga would look at us and be like, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah,
And
that's
we'd be like,
right. Homie would point at us.
and we'd be like, what the fuck? What did we do?
Yeah, we were just laughing and be like, "You what? No."
Somehow his Jedi mind tricks, bro. You'd be like, he'd be like,
Johnny and Mike know. Look at them, they know. They say it too.
he'd be like, what the fuck, guys? He'd be like, he just said it.
I don't want to fuck you in the ass, Nick. I don't want to dominate you. I don't. He's putting that on us.
He's like, we wouldn't fuck you in the ass. And then he gets sick and he throws his fucking towel over his shoulder. He starts flipping and he goes, yes, walk away, gay Nick, flip, flip, flip.
No, he dropped. That was when he dropped the ultimate at the end. When he was like, "Go." He was like, "Go ahead, gay Nick. Walk away, gay Nick. You fat." He dropped the big one on that one. We were like, "Yo."
We were like, yo, we slid up way from the table, like in a chair, like, yeah. Which that wasn't the first time something like that. It's very similar. It happened.
Yeah, we had
another day.
We had they were wild cards, and they would just whip them out, and you'd be like, "What the hell, dude?"
That's how high tensions were. Like people would just snap at the drop of a dime.
And
And
Owen
he's
was a little older and a more like street and
street.
institutionalized, where Nick was very much coming from like a what we as a sem like decent. He wasn't like a jail.
Yeah, he was like he was
Like
definitely a step, and I'm not trying to shit on you or I, but he was definitely a step above us.
yeah, like his like social life standing. Like
yeah.
yeah. No, that's a fair statement, and it's not all our choice. So we made it out.
Yeah.
We were more comfortable. That's just what it comes down. You're just more used to.
Yeah. Like he would not have fought in there or anything
No.
like that. Like he was kept to himself and quiet.
I think I remember him like we were like talking about him like making fighting poses and being
You're like,
like, "You're done, dude."
you're
Like,
fucked, dude.
his wrist, like, why? Why did your wrist do that? That's not gonna help you, man.
He was like, sorry, tears just coming back to me. But but so he walks back, so he throws his fucking towel over his shoulder,
Click.
walks, flip, 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 yeah,
Click, 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 click.
back to his cell, which his cell was like right next to yours, if I remember correctly,
Yeah, at
like
that
a
time,
couple
yeah, yeah.
down.
He's like right there.
And he fucking locks himself in like an hour before lock-in. He's so upset. He's like crying in the cell. Like I remember, like because he says, he drops the F-bomb. We're
Oh
like,
yeah, hard.
yo,
Whole unit could hear it.
and this is back when no one really, not many people in there cared.
Yeah, no, they weren't. No one would have been offended, but it meant like, oh, you got like it's,
To,
you know
to
what I
people,
mean?
the
Like,
kids like us who were like, we were like, yeah, that's fucked up. You know what I mean?
yeah, like to be called that there too, and it's also not even like it's
Oh,
just like
that's a good point too.
it's
Like
like an
they're
aggressive, like it's like a make a point, like saying suck my dick. Like these are
like
certain
that's like
things.
fighting words in there.
Yeah, there's certain things that just trigger and like, and Nick's not coming from that world, and Omi, he's like, he's just
He's just getting
bullying. He's just bullying.
he
He's
was
just
just
getting at
bullying
him.
him, yeah.
Yeah,
And he was
dude.
really doing it for our entertainment, I felt like.
I know because we were laughing, but he took it
Yeah.
too far. But this is
He
also the man who beat a taxi driver with his own prosthetic leg. So we should have known he was going to take it too far. We should have helped pump the brakes earlier.
which is a true story.
Yeah, it's a true
Oh,
story.
we beat a fucking taxi driver with his own prosthetic leg. He took the guy's leg off and beat the shit out of
Yeah. He was like trying to rob him, and then ended up just getting in an altercation and beating him with his own prosthetic leg.
him. And this is how you know he's great because he knew like, oh, I can rob taxi drivers at this time because he was a taxi driver.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Madman, absolute madman.
Madman. And like he was hitting people he worked with.
Yeah, so crazy.
Crazy.
And punching in the next shift, picking up the car from them.
Crazy, bro. So long story short, this motherfucker locks in like an hour before we have to lock
Yep.
in,
Yep.
and
That's the
we
click away, click, 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 click.
and we walk over to the cell because he's still in his head. It's like we said it,
Yeah, yeah.
like
We're not absolved.
yeah. Plus we like him, and so we're at the window, like we're like knock, and he's literally crying in there. Do you remember this? We're like knocking on the window, and
Yeah, come
he's
on.
like, "Leave me alone, guys."
Yeah,
And he,
but and you remember he had like because there was the two light settings. You could have
yes,
full on, and there was like a halfway, like
but
kind of.
there's no off.
Oh, that's right. You couldn't do off. So off was like that dimmer, like
Yeah.
warm. So we had like the depression light on in there. Oh, like and it's like a warm orange glow light.
Just
Oh
like
God.
illuminating his face.
Yeah, leave me alone, guys.
And
Roll
he's
back over, back to us. Back to the window.
and he's literally crying, dude. Literally crying. But we broke him like in a good way, like made
Yeah,
him happy by the end before we had to lock in.
yeah.
And I remember specifically before I was leaving him, we'd be like, "Let me get a booyaka, bro. Come on, just one booyaka." He'd be like, "Booyaka,"
Right.
and we'd be like, "Yeah, you know that wasn't us saying it, right, dude? Like we
Dude,
didn't say that shit."
we're just caught up in there's a lot of characters in here, my bro. I do remember that though, like just by harassing him at the door enough, walking by, giving him a little time, coming back, and that they'd be like, "Come on, bro, we gotta lock in. We can't end the night like this. Just get one more little booyaka." Ah, booyaka. Thank you, bro. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, do you
Seriously.
remember this just came to me too, and I was so we had like those. I don't even know what they were. They were like not metal, but like you remember like dollar or like quarter waters. Like they didn't have them in jail, but like those little like
The,
flavored fucking drinks. They
you
had
like the
like
jugs, like the
the
little
little
barrel,
jugs.
little
Yeah, they had
barrel.
like that like it's not tinfoil, but it's like kind of like tinfoil on top.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
something that we had gotten or he had gotten had like that little tinfoil, and he had like shoved it into his ear holes like they were
Right.
earrings.
Right. Yeah. And didn't he have the comb pick? Then the comb teeth before that?
That's what it was. So I think he put it at the end of the comb tooth.
It
Like so
wouldn't come
people would
out.
put the comb like they break the combs so their ears didn't close.
Yep.
And like he had gotten something silver or something on top of there. He'd be like, you're like, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
But yeah, that's right, dude. He did.
And he had it in, and this is stupid, but like people used to say if you had like one earring in your right ear, you were gay.
Right, 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 right.
And he had it in his right ear. And
Luther.
be like telling him, he'd be like, that's not like thinking it was just us fucking with him.
Yeah, like no, we
Be like,
heard that
no, dude, like
out.
this is why we call you gay Nick. Everything you do is gay. You can't help it. And it's okay, just
Bro,
come out of the closet, dude. We will respect you more for your bravery.
we're trying to gaslight that man into being gay.
But I would literally say that to him all the time. Like, bro, no one cares that you're gay. Just be gay, dude.
Yeah.
He'd be like, I'm not gay, dude. I get so much
Shut up,
pussy.
Johnny. Yeah, that's right. That's the other thing that made it so funny is he would try to brag about all the pussy he got and like girls, and even
Yeah.
though he talked about it, it was like not.
It was
It's
like the 40-year-old virgin, like before the
yeah.
movie came out. He like feels like sandbag. I'm like, dude, what?
How much pussy, man? I'm a kill. I kill it out there. I'm a player. I'm a player. He would say,
Yeah.
"I'm a player. I'm a player." What, dude? What are you talking
And you'd be
about?
like, yeah, you're right. Because you also like, play is play.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, this place.
we're like, bro, what are you talking about, my guy? Yo, and he had a wild story about how he got in trouble, which was obviously like not true. I mean, I'm sure everything's true, but the beginning part, I don't even know if we should go into it because it's not our story to tell. But
Well,
he
how did it unfold again? There was e-pills involved, right?
well, what he told me was he was at the club, whatever club this is, God knows.
Here we go. At the club, players play. Players play.
And he's talking to these girls as he is wont to do.
Yes, players play.
And he's like, bro, I was about to fuck both these girls. And and according to him, they had put like fucking the date rape drug in his drink,
Oh, right. The GHB.
the
They drug
GHB, which
him.
is like, dude. So now you're saying these hot ass girls are trying to fucking date rape you, bro? Which is fucking wild. But
It could have been a robbery situation,
yeah, it
but
could have been a robbery
I'm
situation.
almost
But he
certain they
didn't
were
get robbed though.
right. Hey,
He
I'm
ended
almost
up in some random person's house sleeping on the couch, and he got arrested for breaking and entering. His charge was B&E, bro.
I was about to fuck these hot ass girls.
And like his car was like in the front yard of this fucking
Oh
person's
my
house,
God,
and he
dude.
just went in their house and fucking fell asleep on the couch.
Bro, bless him, dude.
And
That's a
so he,
relatable. That's a semi-relatable part of the story. Sometimes you just
yeah,
gotta crash, dude. You just
yeah,
gotta
yeah, yeah,
crash, you
yeah.
know?
That's what I'm saying. Like he was probably just fucked up on drugs,
Yeah, dude.
and
And
it just and he fucking went and crashed in someone's house. That's like what happens. One second, but because it does happen.
yeah,
Matt Smith
dude.
did it, or I shouldn't have said his whole name, so
Uh,
bleep that.
believe that. Send that to the federales. We're on to
Exactly.
you,
Actually,
boss.
keep that in, bro. Keep
Yeah,
that in.
keep that in. We're
Keep
snitching today, boy.
that.
Yeah, no, that's I actually know someone else too. JJ ended up same thing. He ended up getting like crazy dusted or something
Yeah.
and pissing and passing out in the apartment, got arrested.
But that's how it happens, dude. And so like that's what maybe like I'm like, bro, you can just because he always trying to make it
Yeah.
seem like he wasn't like he was innocent and like he wasn't that kind of dude and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, bro, we're all innocent in here, bro.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Dude, like, don't you know, dude, this whole fucking unit's innocent.
And look, there's no one specific type of dude who does things like that and gets high
Yeah.
and crashes. Sometimes it's a gay dude.
That's right.
It's all of us, brother.
But the gall of him to be like these
I know.
high, like bro.
Not only play the innocent card, but he was framed or like it led from these three hot ass girls wanting to bang him and drug him.
It's so much so that they had a fucking
And he drug
GHB
him.
him.
He's a hot commodity. He knew they weren't gonna be able to keep their hands on him long, dude.
That's what I'm saying,
He
bro.
knew it wasn't long before they heard the clicking off into the distance. They're
Until the
like, nah,
sunset,
we need to pin this down now.
yeah.
Rebecca, get the GHB now. We're gonna fuck.
Like
Girls,
I could almost hear him tell the story like these other three girls came and so these ones fucking judged me.
and
It's
all they
like
wanted was my penis.
dude, they just want a one night of pleasure.
Just
Like,
one
bro.
night with Nick. One night with straight Nick, boy.
Exactly. That's his nickname on town. Straight Nick. Yo, and I'll tell you a funny story too. We
I, oh yeah.
when
Is
I
it
came
after?
home, yeah,
Yeah,
it was after.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Like a few months or however long it was. Did he get out before me? I don't think so.
I don't. Maybe not.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
God bless you.
Yeah, damn. But
Good and tight. Good health.
so thank you. So he gets to his car and I'm like, yo, gay Nick. He's like, what up, bro? And his buddy's like, gay Nick.
Yeah, that's what.
He's like, Nick, straight Nick. You know me, straight Nick.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like a lot of people like normal people like age and look differently. I feel like we don't. Like you and I
No,
look exactly the same.
yeah, I've had some change, but not really much. It's
Like not drastic change.
no, definitely not. Especially over the last like, I think it's gonna start catching up more. But we've always been the baby face killers, bro.
Yeah, like I can't even grow a fucking beard yet.
Oh, bro, my sides are diabolical. It's a curse.
Bro, it's gotta be. Like it just
Yeah.
grows like a chin strap. Like I'm forced to be gay Nick.
Yo,
Biologically.
I don't even get a good chin strap. Like this sides are just like barren land. It's just like straggly, blonde, red, and
I don't know
brown.
if you remember this, but I how I got it to kind of grow in was like there I got like this like beard miracle beard
I
grow.
remember going to the apartment.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it.
You talk about
And
that.
I was like, yo, use this. I'm telling you, it worked. I couldn't grow anything here until I started using it every day. And I was like in the middle of and I wasn't looking at you, you're in the bathroom, but the doors open because you just mess with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, just use like a dime inside. And I look over, you have it all over your hands. And you're like,
You think it's working, Johnny?
you're like, like
You
I was
think
like,
it'll
God
really
damn.
work? You think it'll really work, Johnny?
Yeah, that's so funny, dude.
Yo, dude, I remember that in that. Oh my God. All right, hold on. So I'm gonna end this recording right now.
Should we do an ending first?
How do we want to
We
end?
gotta start doing openings and beginnings, brother. Like we were
I
just jumping right
know.
into these.
I know, but it's so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we need a gay Nick on our writing team. He would give us good sign-offs and hellos.
Yo, he should be like fucking. Did you ever watch like Conan O'Brien? Like Andy Richter would do like this like
Yeah. We need one of those situations, sitting on the couch with his legs crossed like that.
he'd be like booyaka booyaka booyaka, and then we just click.
I just want to thank anybody who does see this. We are starting on this one. I'm not even. Damn, I might have to do a little. We did some. Who knows? I'm gonna throw it on the Patreon. Maybe we'll see what's going on. But I'm Crow Stains. This is Johnny Riot. This is Be Well, Race Hell, Locked In. Is Locked In what we're gonna go with? But we can't.
I like it,
All right, all right. It doesn't matter that it's kind of like
but we can like it doesn't
fake.
have to be like because there's like locked in like lock dash in,
Yeah,
and then there's the locked in pod like which is not about that shit.
yeah.
We can be it could be like you know what I mean just lock in like literally the act of
Lock in.
locking in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, lock in.
Yeah,
I like that. So
the lock in pod. Yeah,
there's a
lock in,
lock
baby.
in pod, man. Lock in.
But you
This.
can't say the because that's somebody
Oh,
else's.
yeah. We gotta leave this out. This is how the magic happens, folks.
Yeah,
Lock in.
yeah. Lock
Coming
in with
through,
your
we're working
boys.
it. We got the first. We do have the second episode. Is a longer telling of the whole tale that, admittedly, our editing team is dragging ass on,
Yeah,
and he's got to get it popped off. But that's going to be on the Patreon next. There's some teasers on there, and we're going to put this one, I think, just quicker, just some story times out there.
just show off. Yeah, just show it
Yeah,
up.
just show us so people come and check it out, man. We appreciate y'all, and
Stay locked, baby.
stay locked, lock in, y'all. Time's up.
Yeah,
Ship
it's
change.
fucking. Yeah, what would they used to say when it was like bedtime? It'd be like lock in. It's something.
Lock in. I know.
Fuck. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's how we got to end this fucking pod.
Lock. Yeah,
And
dude.
lock in. It's lights out. That's what they say.
Lights
Lights
out.
out.
Lights out. Lights out.
Yeah.
Lights out. That's how we end it. And we start everyone with the pop out. Let's do a jog.
Yeah. Let's do a jogger, man.
And it's essentially just a day on the unit with us.
That's it. Lock
Reach
in, baby.
out.
Lights out.
Lock in. Lights out. That's from us. We love y'all.